that the audio works on Twitch, because there's this bug in OBS that sometimes the audio doesn't work. So I got to keep talking to make sure that the audio works. And you'll notice a pattern here. All right, there is audio on Twitch. Excellent. All right, broadcasting on Dementia Radio now. And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
Sitting right next to me is TV's Kyle.
I'm sitting right next to him.
Kyle is right next to him. It didn't switch to you, so you just have to take my word for it. And we have Dead by 28 in the house. Welcome back, guys.
What up? How's it going? Hello, Devo.
Hello. Welcome to episode 624 of the Funny Music Podcast. Title of this week's episode is Ancient Lunchroom, and I'm going to put that in the chat so you can refer to it later. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to work that title into our conversations somehow. And we might have another guest joining us a little bit later, too, when we talk to Kyle. But first, we do this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, the other day I went and had lunch with Tony Goldmark, and then immediately after that I had a chunk of my skull removed.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so... Yeah, basically, out of nowhere, one of my teeth on the very far back upper left side of my mouth, there was a huge intense pain in my gums that started and would not stop as I was trying to drive to work. So I called in and said, I can't come to work. I have to go to my dentist to see what's up. And it is a tooth that the corresponding tooth underneath was extracted like 15 years ago, so it's not really serving a purpose being up there. And we had discussed extracting it, at an earlier session. And it hadn't really been, bothering me at all up until just that moment the other day. So suddenly I went in and, walked out of the office with this beauty right here. This is one of my teeth. And it is like when my dentist pulled it out of my mouth, he literally went, whoa! Like, he was impressed by the size of this thing. So,
There's certain people you don't want to impress, and like doctors and dentists are at the top of that list.
So I don't normally do this, but I asked him after I took a look at him, like, would you allow me to keep that? Is that something you can do? And he's like, normally we don't, but since I've known you for so long, I'll let you keep it. So... Who knows? Maybe at a future FuMPFest, I'll auction that off in case anyone wants to clone me.
Why wouldn't they let you keep it? It's your tooth. It was part of you.
I don't know. Other than that, what else have I...
It's for the Teeth for Tots event later in the year.
Oh, okay,
give
gotcha.
Big cups of teeth to kids for them to do with what they will.
Oh, yeah, last week, the reason why I wasn't on the cast was because... I managed to, for the very last, hour it was happening, I got over to Star Wars Celebration, and I basically ran around the dealer room and, bought a couple of things. Got an exclusive T-shirt from T-Turtle of Ahsoka, and then I got an Ahsoka action figure that I didn't know existed. There's a company called Toy Box that is basically the company that made all of the characters, or all of the Disney Infinity figures with that really particular cool design.
Hey, Luke, you just got really quiet. Jiggle your cable.
Jiggle my cable?
Let's see, I'm guessing.
What'd you say?
No, the one on the end of the mic, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's it.
There, how about now?
That's much better, yeah.
Okay.
That'll do it.
So,
Jiggle it right.
So yeah, the Disney Infinity figures, which were super cool, this company, after Disney Infinity ended, basically started releasing action figures of those designs, but kind of scaled up larger to be more of a decent action figure size thing. So and they're all like Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars properties. And when I was walking through the room, I found one for Ahsoka Tano, which is her at the end of Clone Wars, like season 7. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. And she's packaged with one of the clones. I forgot which one, but it was just kind of like, yeah, that's why I come to things like this, to find the rare piece of merch that I didn't even know existed and then buy it immediately. So now I have the Disney Infinity of Ahsoka, like at the beginning of Clone Wars, Ahsoka at the end of Clone Wars, and the action figure, which is basically Rosario Dawson.
Oh man, I did not need another thing to collect.
Nice.
Why did you tell me about this?
It's fine, Kyle. It's fine.
It is not.
There's a Spider Ham in there. Anyway,
I'm gonna kill you. With the...
I think Spider Ham comes as a part of a larger package that's like Spider-Man with some kind of cool spider car vehicle. So.
Oh, I've seen that around. They're the ones who make that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then I went over to Disneyland and I got on, or I should technically say, first I went to California Adventure. And just so I could hop on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, because that's my favorite ride at that park. And I also ate at Pim's Test Kitchen and had like basically their giant meatball on top of teeny tiny pasta with a teeny tiny fork. It's fun. So yeah, and then something else I did. I went to see another taping of Night Court, which was awesome, and I'm going to be doing that some more. I'm psyched. And me and Kyle did a thing.
We did?
Yes. We did a live show with the two of us and Linzilla and Garrett, a.k.a. Ilnage, and Bonnie Gordon of the Library Bards, and some other cool people. Ken Pringle put a live We Talk Funny comedy show together, but it was all comedy musicians, so it was called We Sing Funny. And it was on a Sunday afternoon in a parking lot outside of a brewery, a microbrew. So, but it was
surprisingly well attended for that description.
Yeah, my friend Mike Guthrie came out for it, and his fiance. So yeah. And the other acts that performed there, one of them was Nick. Oh, I forgot his last name again. Nick Jameson. I think it's that. He's a voice actor who's done many things, but he is and a comedian. But he is the voice of Emperor Palpatine on the Clone Wars.
Oh, cool.
So that was pretty cool. And then there was a group called The Show, which was a duo, and then a group called Bonehenge, which is a dinosaur-themed rock band. They were the headliner. So, and everyone did great sets, and I made sure to message those other three acts after the show and give them the information on how to submit songs to Dr. Demento and how to submit songs for the FuMP. So hopefully we'll be hearing from them in the near future because they were a lot of fun. So, yeah, anything you want to add to the day?
Oh, I should mention that Bonehenge is fronted by my good friend John Allen, who, besides being a voiceover guy, is also wrestles under the name Ricotta Flair. Which is kind of like Ric Flair, but with a big cheese head.
Nice.
And that's a part of Pro Wrestling here in
yes.
Burbank, right? Yeah. So I've been there once, and it was wild. But yeah, those are the most significant things, other than me continuing to do my day job and and hope that I get offered another job that isn't my day job. So yeah, what have you been up to, Devo Spice?
Well, last weekend, over Memorial Day weekend, we finally had time to start retiling the kitchen floor. Like, we spent all 3 days just working on the floor, and we were... my wife was like, so what are the odds of us actually finishing it this weekend? And I'm like, slim to none. And sure enough, not even close. So we've got about half the tile down. We still have to lay out the other half and get that put down. So hopefully this weekend we'll get the rest of it down. The other thing I want to mention, since you've been on the show last, I got a new audio interface thanks to our good friend Chris Mezzalesta, because he moved from Texas to Ohio and had to tear down his recording booth. And he was like, well, I have this thing. I don't need it anymore. Anybody want it? And he just put up this notice on Facebook. And I was like, I'll take it if you want to get rid of it. So he sent it to me. And this was like a month ago. And I finally had a chance to, hook it up and everything. And what's really nice is it solves two problems I had with my old one. One is that it no longer gets completely messed up when my computer goes to sleep, because literally my computer would go to sleep, and then when I woke it up, I don't know what the hell was wrong with it. I'm sure it has something to do with the internal clock of the computer versus the device or something, but everything was like everything sounded like that, and I literally had to unplug it and plug it back in every time I wanted to use it, and that just annoyed me. So this doesn't do that. And the other thing is, this has much lower latency than the other one I was using, because on this podcast, when I'm hearing myself with all this complicated sound routing I'm doing in order to cast and stream and record and everything at the same time, by the time the signal gets back into my headphones, there was at least like a third of a second delay on the old one, and it was jarring the first few times I recorded the show. I learned to tune it out, so it was fine. But this one, it's like a 16th of a second delay. It just sounds like I have a little bit of reverb going on in my headphones. So I'm very happy with this device. So thank you, Chris, wherever you are. And the last thing I want to mention, and I'm only mentioning this because I know several of our listeners and fans know my father personally from FuMPCast, my father who we affectionately call Old Spice. Last week, he tested positive for COVID. Friday, he went to the hospital, preemptively because he has a severe lung condition. And, his pulmonologist was like, just go to the hospital and, before you have to go to the hospital. So they admitted him. They treated him. He's slowly recovering. He was discharged from the hospital yesterday, and he's back home now. And he has to isolate until at least Monday, but he is getting better. He's still exhausted and very sick, but he is on the mend, thank God. So just mentioning that because I know, our listeners know him from FuMPFest, and I figured they would want to know. So, Kyle, what have you been up to? And talk closer to the mic so we can hear you.
I will. Most of my time has just been spent doing Snoopy stuff. I'm on my last board of the season.
Hey,
and,
Luke, can you turn the mic?
I'm going to say something loud so the thing... There it goes.
Turn the mic, because I think that's just a front...
Hi.
Yeah,
I've
there
turned
you
the
go.
mic. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Should I repeat all the things I just said?
Please do.
Okay. So I'm working on my last Snoopy show board of the season. And yeah, like thumbnail deadline week was last week, and so that I've kind of been like, besides, practicing for the show we just described, was fully laser focused on that. And yeah, I'm just kind of chipping away at it now. I heard today about the next job, which I cannot tell you about at all.
You suck.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, I've got like a freelance that I can't tell you about, but then there's another job that I even more can't tell you about that I might take after doing that freelance for a little while. So,
No, okay.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
It's real great podcasting.
Yeah,
telling
it's
you
great.
About all this work I can't tell you about.
Yeah, we should just make a whole podcast called I'm working on this thing, I can't tell you anything about it. Just make that the whole podcast. And just, oh, it's wonderful. You should see it. It's got really cool effects. Can't tell you anything about it.
NDA Cast is the world's worst podcast.
And I just wish I had something that I couldn't tell you about, Devo. I wish I did.
We'll have you on the NDA cast anyway. We'll just, I know there's stuff you can't talk about. There must be something you can't talk about in your life, So we'll have you on so you can not talk about that. All right. So Dead by 28, welcome back.
How's it going?
Good.
How are you?
It is Chris and Sean, right? If I'm remembering the names correctly.
Correct.
It is correct.
Chris the Disman Grice and Sean the Master Shaheen.
Beautiful. So what have you guys been up to?
Oh, that's a lot of delay there.
You're all fuzzy and shit.
Drinking and watching TV.
Lots of good entertainment out right now.
That
Yeah.
sounds
I've
wonderful.
been watching on YouTube the Star Wars Celebration stuff and then nerding out on the Kenobi series. So congratulations, Lukeski, for getting to go and experience that firsthand.
It's like here's how bad my battles with anxiety and depression are. Is that I had the 1 day pass I had was for Thursday, the first day. So I set an alarm to get myself up at like 6 a.m. so I could have gotten out there, gotten parked, gotten my COVID bracelet, and gotten in to like be there at that big panel where Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen and Harrison Ford all showed up. But my alarm went off and I was like, I don't feel like getting up and doing things. And so I basically ended up sleeping in the majority of the day until I finally was like, well, I guess I better get out there before the day ends and this thing comes to completely useless. So yeah.
I can understand that.
It wasn't until after the day was over I found out, like, oh, it was Ewan and Hayden and Harrison Ford. It's like, oh, okay. Maybe I should have gotten my
Enjoy it on
butt in gear.
YouTube as well.
I'm old. I'd rather sleep in.
I'm with you. Except I can't anymore because my dog wakes me up at the crack of dawn to take him out. So.
Yeah, exactly. I got a 4-year-old.
Yeah, same effect.
16-year-old cat, same thing.
The 4-year-old doesn't pee on the floor if you don't take him out, though, right?
I wish.
All right, so you guys posted a song.
We did.
Give us a quick intro to the song, and we'll give it a listen, and then we'll talk to you about it.
The intro is Weird Alcoholic. It's about how I like to drink and write songs.
All right, here is Weird Alcoholic by Dead by 28.
What? What? This is a song about drinking. What? This is a song about drinking. Drinking alone, just sitting around thinking. Strange thoughts seem to pop into my head. I keep drinking, I don't want to go to bed. Should I play a game with a microwave later? Or find an open restaurant and pretend that I'm a waiter? Break into the mall and try on ladies' lingerie. Why's it gotta only be for ladies anyway? Should I walk down the street singing Bohemian Rhapsody just loud enough Don't wake me from a weird alcoholic.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about this song.
Well, he came up with the idea for the title Weird Alcoholic, but his idea was, more Weird Al based, which was a really great idea. Like, he wanted the verses to be about, one verse to be about liking weird drinks, then another verse to be about being addicted to Weird Al, which we both are and have been since we were kids, which is one of the things we bonded on first when we met. And I love that idea, but I just don't write songs like that. But I still love the idea. And one night I was just drinking and just came up with some of the lyrics, and just evolved. I was listening to a lot of Fresh Prince and ICP at the time, so it came out very rappy and goofy rappy, and because I really like that goofy rap stuff.
Oh, I'm totally with you on that.
Well, I couldn't tell from listening to your music.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that drew me to hip hop when it first went nationwide back in the mid '80s. Was that it's it seemed they all seemed to have a much, they weren't afraid to have a sense of humor in themselves and in what they were doing in their music. I mean, it wasn't every act was like that. There were certainly some that were more serious than others, like Public Enemy. But in Public Enemy, you still got Flavor Flav, bringing something silly into it. So, yeah.
I want to say the first rap band that I got into was the Fat Boys.
Fat Boys, yes.
Yeah.
Luke,
Fat Boy.
Yeah, Luke and I are huge, longtime Fat Boys fans, and we did a parody of Fat Boys that I wrote years ago called Frat Boys. Luke, were you on that? I know I did one version with Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I did a version with you too. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we did a parody of All You Can Eat called All You Can Tweet when they showed up on Twitter about, God, that was a long time ago. It was 2009, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was so that was and I got a whole bunch of the other people from the FuMP who were on Twitter at the time to. No, I'm thinking of Carrie's song.
Yeah, that was Carrie's song.
But no, the thing I did was I went and a lot of the back then. Not every celebrity was on Twitter, but there were certain ones that were there and were more popular. So I kind of did a bunch of fake tweets by all of them supposedly to go along with all you can tweet. So yeah. Do you want to briefly tell the story of how you almost got a Fat Boy on one of your tracks? Or is that too sad a tale to tell?
Yeah, so at the time they were being managed by this guy named Uncle Louie, and Louie put out a tweet on Twitter that said, "Hey, anybody wants to get a Fat Boys on the song, hit me up." And I was like, I probably can't afford it, but sure, why not? I tweeted at him, and was like, yeah, I'd love to get one of the Fat Boys on one of my songs, and he wrote me back and quoted me a price that I could actually afford, and I was like, sure, this is for 16 bars by Prince Marky D, and I was like, damn, let's do it, and so I wrote the song and sent it to I exchanged a couple emails with Marky D, and he had every intentions of going into the studio, but he was just kind of kept getting sidetracked and never actually managed to get into the studio. And eventually the whole project just fell apart and went nowhere. So didn't happen, unfortunately. But
yeah, I wrote a verse for it too.
Yeah.
I was really bummed that it didn't happen.
I'm still hoping the song will happen with somebody else taking the verse that Mark is going to do. It's just, how do you approach somebody and go, hey, you're fat, you want to do a verse about being fat on my song?
Especially in 2022.
Right. How do you approach a rapper you don't know and say, hey, you're fat, you want to be on my song?
What you do is you get him to find a skinny guy that you're friends with and make him get fat.
I could do that, yeah.
I will get fat for you.
See, but it wasn't just are you fat? It was also, is part of your whole persona about hey, look at me, I'm fat. Look at all the food I'm eating. Oh,
Yeah.
all I do is eat food. I'm a big fat guy. That's my brand.
The song was about, it was called Seven Deadly Sins, and it was about embracing the seven deadly sins. And I had the Fat Boys on for gluttony, so because it was, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So I need another fat rapper to do gluttony. If there's any fat rappers out there who want to appear on my song as gluttony, hit me up.
The thing anymore. I think it died.
Yeah, for the record, my verse was pride.
Yep.
So, and I actually used some of those lyrics I wrote in other things I did later on, just because I really liked some of those lyrics, and I'm like, I don't want these to go to waste forever. So, anyway, let's get back to Dead by 28 and their song.
Yeah.
Oh, what song? Oh, Weird Alcoholic? That's an okay song.
Yeah, somehow we got talking about the Fat Boys. I don't know, but...
So when you said
They're
Bush,
awesome.
were you spelling it Busch? Because that's a brand of beer. Was that like a double entendre? Oh,
Ice
good,
Cup.
perfect.
The cheap beer from the gas station.
So, how would you guys describe the sound of your music? Because it's fairly unique. I don't know that I can compare it with any other bands that are out there. At least none that I'm familiar with.
My favorite explanation that I've heard was Weird Al meets Rob Zombie.
Okay.
We kind of say it's demented B music. We are into B movies. We're into comedy, so it's kind of in that. That's what we're going for is B music.
B music. I like that. I'm a B movie fan myself, so you may have just opened up a big can of worms here. But I'm a longtime Trauma fan.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I like that of referring to music as B music. I think that's neat.
I like it. Shotgun likes it. This is our guitar player, Shotgun. He wanted to be here with us tonight.
All right, Shotgun. I'll have to make him a lower third here. I have a Dead by 28 third that I never put up because I always forget to put them up. But
Well, we can't have Shotgun without Sissy returning.
oh, hi Sissy. I remember Sissy.
Guitar player.
The whole band's here. It's the party.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know how rare it is to get a whole band together. Believe me.
Yeah, it is. We're all from different,
Different area codes.
Yeah, different area codes.
Nice. So, do you guys play out a lot or at all?
Never.
Never.
I think it's been about 10 years, almost 10 years since we played out.
At least.
We got
Yeah,
burned
okay.
out on that scene.
Yeah, it's not.
COVID killed it. Whatever was left in Detroit, there was not much in any venue that was around. We had been banned from already. So after about 10 years ago, we decided, you know what, we need a break from playing out. And then when we came back and started writing music again, we've been spending a lot more time in the studio where we enjoy ourselves and we can release everything ourselves. And as a do-it-yourself type of band, that's more of what we focus on now. Eventually, we'd like to do some live shows again, but it's tough to get 5 people together, especially when we're using a studio drummer and a sessions drummer who lives nowhere near us, but is amazing in the studio.
Yeah, that's understandable. But playing out is fun when you can do it, if you can manage
fun. I would like to do it, but in the age of the internet, it's not like super necessary for us anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. It would probably help, but
Maybe we'll focus on that sometime.
That's the thing. I don't know what would help with my music. So if you figure anything out,
but he's far away. How to put it? Yeah, I don't know.
Is there a demand for live shows right now?
Uh,
At least in our area, it doesn't seem like there is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I went to see Weird Al a couple of weeks ago. That show was pretty packed. So
Yeah, Weird
that's
Al.
Weird
Everybody,
Al.
yeah, he's in
I'm-
demand all
We're
the
no
time.
Weird Al.
Yeah, so was the McCartney show I went to. The other day.
so tell us about the B movies that you guys are into.
All about Evil Dead here.
Evil Dead, excellent. Yes.
Been playing the Evil Dead video game That's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, I heard that came out recently.
On what system? Which one?
I got it on Xbox One. I think it's
Okay.
on all the next generation consoles.
I don't play video games.
Okay, because I don't think I've heard of a new Evil Dead game. I may have missed that. I'll have to look into
They've
it.
incorporated pretty much all the TV show, Army of Darkness. They got the rights to that, so you can play as all characters from pretty much anything. So it's a nice mix of all of their material without being stuck on just the first two Evil Deads or just the TV series.
That's interesting that you say that, because I just watched an interview with Bruce Campbell where he said that when they made Evil Dead 2, they didn't have any of the rights to Evil Dead 1. So like, it was a big problem. And then when they made the TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead, they didn't have the rights to use anything from Army of Darkness. So like,
Correct.
they couldn't make too many references to anything that was too similar to Army of Darkness. They can only reference either the second movie or the first movie or the first two. I forget which. But the video game can get all the stuff. Sure. It's so weird.
It's weird that happened, but yeah, it's funny that they actually incorporated the Army of Darkness stuff in with the rest when the TV show went so long and still couldn't incorporate most of it.
That TV show was wild, man. I tell you,
Love it.
It's great stuff.
Once in Chicago, I saw Evil Dead the musical.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
How was that?
It was great, and the great thing was they decided that their creative decision was to basically combine the first two movies, or to combine Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, like into one movie. So they kind of mashed together like some characters into the same character, and they even like acknowledged that in the thing. It's like, well, it just seems simpler, like it's like those two movies. It's like Evil Dead 2 is basically a remake of Evil Dead 1. So, bleh. And they get to the end where Ash is in the they bookend the thing with Ash in the S-Mart, and and at the end it's like he mentioned something about going off on a grand medieval adventure, and it's like, but I can't talk about that. So it was like they couldn't get the rights to mention Army of Darkness either, apparently. So it was a lot of fun. One of the songs in the musical, I believe, is called "What the Fuck Was That?" So yeah,
great stuff. I'm a big fan of Trauma. I was at a convention once, and I entered a raffle, and I won, I won like a stack of Trauma videos.
Oh, really?
So I got like Bloodsucking Freaks, and which is a movie I watched once, and I don't think I could ever watch it again. What else was in that pile that Killer Condom. Have you ever seen that one?
I have.
Surprisingly good movie. I was not expecting that.
Did you get Go to Hell?
No.
Okay.
That was Ray's movie, right?
Yeah, that was my friend Ray's movie.
Yeah, that was not in my stash. I know that was. I haven't seen that one. I got to find it. I think Trauma has their own streaming service now, so I'll have to look. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, Dead Alive's amazing.
Dead Alive is wonderful. There's no other way to describe that movie.
Ask for the Lord.
Yes.
That was Peter Jackson, right?
That was Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
He did some amazing stuff before he did the Lord of the Rings movies, and well, I mean, the Lord of the Rings movies were amazing too. But I mean, Dead Alive is just unreal, and like that half a head that keeps getting kicked around on the ground was just like my favorite thing ever. All right, I can go on all night. You guys have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We just submitted a song to the FuMP called Dead Sexy. We're hoping to put out as a single. And then, speaking of the 7 Deadly Sins, back about 10 years ago, we put an album out, an EP, one song for each 7 Deadly Sin. And
cool.
Our gluttony song was called Vegan Stew, about eating vegans. And we just re-recorded a version of that we're going to release. It's one of our funnier songs, so that'll be coming through in the future. And we're also working on a couple of parodies on the back burner, which hopefully will be making big steps forward soon.
Yeah.
Nice.
I finally finished the lyrics on one of them, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm well aware of what you're talking about on at least one of them. Looking forward to that because I love what you did with the music. It sounds amazing.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
All right, we're going to do some news and talk to Kyle. You guys are welcome to stick around if you like. If you have better things to do, you're welcome to take off.
We'll stick around.
All righty. Let's do some news. Here's a promo.
This is the FuMP.
I swagger proud to the casino, past the penny slots and Keno. Got me a gig up here in Reno, blackjack.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll in the highway to hell. But I'd rather sell my soul for a trip to Taco Bell. It's not a question now, too bad for rock and roll. And Azazel killed her dead with her 2 babies asleep in bed. Their names are Sam and Dean.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Stop! Burger time!
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, the Philly Folk Fest is taking place August 18th through 21st in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And what's interesting for us is on Saturday, August 20th, they're having an event called Funny Songs in the Round, featuring Carla Ulbrich, Barry Rabin, and Todd Chappelle. This is taking place at the Old Pool Farm in Upper Salford, Pennsylvania. For more information, go to folkfest.org. The Seriously Funny Music Podcast is now out. All 5 episodes are available on major streaming podcast platforms. The Seriously Funny Music Podcast is a scripted, limited podcast series about the aesthetics of comedy popular music by Scott Greenberg. Scott is a New York City-based songwriter and music producer interested in the aesthetics of popular music. This project is an adaptation of his NYU master's thesis, The Apparent Bias Against Comedy Popular Music. Each episode investigates a funny music artist and specific academic concept to explain why they and other humorous musicians often go underappreciated. Episode 1 is about Weird Al and parody. Episode 2 is Frank Zappa and lowbrow humor. Episode 3 is about They Might Be Giants and novelty music. Episode 4 is Childish Gambino and ethical aestheticism. Episode 5 is Tenacious D and authenticity. Look up the Seriously Funny Music Podcast on your favorite streaming platform. And for some reason, my eyes are refusing to focus. I'm having trouble seeing.
Are you getting this weed over here?
And Bonnie Gordon appeared on a recent episode of Don't Forget the Lyrics, which is a new talent show on Fox. On this show, contestants sing along with a song, and then the song stops, and the singer has to say what the next few lines are. Bonnie appears on episode 2, which is now available on Hulu. Don't Forget the Lyrics airs Monday nights at 8 p.m. on Fox. So you can check that out. Luke, you got anything before tour dates?
No.
No. All right. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody. On Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On Thursdays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel. On the 3rd in Leeds in the UK, MC Lars. The 3rd through the 5th in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mikey Mason. On the 4th in Hatfield in the UK, MC Lars. The 4th through the 6th in Coletreme, Ireland, the Gothsicles. On the 5th in New Hope, Pennsylvania, Larry Tritel. On the 7th in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Nuclear Bubble Wrap. The 8th through the 12th in Columbus, Ohio, Mikey Mason and Tom Smith. On the 10th online, Carla Ulbrich. And the 16th through the 20th in St. Louis, Missouri, Mikey Mason. And birthdays coming up on the 8th, Jessica Delfino. Happy birthday, Jessica. All right, song number 2, Kyle, you're up.
Oh, hello.
Be louder.
No.
Or
Except my quietness. Folks, this is a song about muffins. Play it.
all right, here is Mary Berry Muffins by TV's Kyle.
Yay.
Cute little Mary Berry muffins, fresh from my oven. This is the first batch that I've made. I put so much love in.
They are so very cute, I cannot bear to eat one. Cooling in the basket, being charming and small. I think that one has a face and that it winked right at me. How comical and droll are they muffins at all?
How I love the darling little muffins that fly around the room. Looks like they're anti-gravity, and they all go zoom.
There's one perched on my head, the rest are on my shoulders. Lifting me up as they sing their muffin song. They take me to the kitchen and out of the open window. Whoever knew that muffins could be so strong?
Cute little Mary Berry muffins, they're magical beings, taking me to their muffin land. What am I seeing? How did we get here?
How do I get home?
What do they want now?
I'm getting quite concerned even in this wonderful place.
I see a big oven and think at first that it's meant for me, but then they bake something strange and a big tin of humans come out. The Merry Muffins.
I forgot to unmute myself. I'm talking now. Okay.
Hey.
And we have an Erika now, too. Hi, Erika.
We do.
Hi, thanks for having me on Zoom.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us, Erika.
I'm here now.
It's true.
And if this song had come out like a year or two ago, she'd be here in the room too, because she used to be my roommate.
That's true.
So tell us about this song.
So this was for my Lil Deli album, which started out as a companion EP for the Fidelity album. Fidelity is all remakes of my first album, all songs that I wrote in high school and college. And so it's like I wanted to make this EP stuff that never made it to a proper album, like for whatever degree I needed to rewrite it. And then it ended up being like a great big actual album when I was asked to be musical guest of honor at MarsCon. So as usual, a Kyle album didn't go according to plan. Who on earth is calling me?
But it didn't.
Can you vamp for long enough for me to talk to my agent?
Sure, go ahead.
So Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh, look, more things that Kyle can't talk about.
Hollywood.
So I guess I'll kind of use this as the segue to talking to Erika. Hey, Erika.
Hi, Luke.
So Erika was my roommate for 4 years, starting off at a different apartment place, where of course she met Colin, Lindsay, and my whole big group of friends. And then I moved into this apartment that is in the same apartment complex that Colin and Lindsay live in, and she joined me over here. She is now living with her awesome boyfriend Garrett, aka Ilnage,
who is in the chat.
Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, just like, aren't Kyle and Lindsay like the best people ever?
They are fantastic. I love them. We just saw them this past weekend, didn't we?
Yeah. We reported on that earlier in the podcast about the awesome show that everyone did. So basically, Erika is an actress and has done singing and stuff, and in fact she did some voice actor stuff with me for Kyle.
I can't tell you about it.
But you can tell us about the stuff that Erika recorded for the voice thing for a cartoon that you were working on that I was also on. Hey!
What?
Caffeine Cat.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't get like the lead into that at all.
I can't talk about it.
I was pitching a show called Caffeine and Punky Life in Los Angeles, and I decided, hey, what if maybe Luke and Erika were the voices of both Caffeine Cat and Punky Jackman, a little Tonkin Pumpkin, and so they recorded that thing. I don't know how you were tying that into this.
I was just to Vamp. I was introducing Erika into the storyline of the TV's Kyle Pantheos of existence.
I have a Pantheos. Pro V.
You do.
I used to listen to all my music on Pantheos, but now I use Spotify.
Pantheos, Lord of the Ancient Lunchroom. So anyway, I had written a song while I was either in college or just fresh out of college that was called Fuzzy Funny Hamsters. I wrote it with a friend. I kind of can't get a hold of that friend anymore, so I'm like, I shouldn't use their work. I'm going to instead take the melody that I wrote and write brand new lyrics for it, and that is where Mary Berry Muffins came from, which took like zero amount of time to come up with. What do I replace Fuzzy Fuzzy Hamsters with? Mary Berry Muffins, obviously. Thanks, brain. Thanks for working that day. And I needed a female vocalist to take the place of the friend I can no longer get in contact with, and a person who has a similarly very cute voice to that person was my good friend Erika Haynes, who I asked, and she said yes.
I said yes. I really enjoyed being part of this. I think this is like, besides the small voices that I did on a couple of Luke songs back in the day, I believe this is the first like song that I've been a part of.
Yeah, and it was like the good job you did on those songs is what made me want to ask you, besides, the adorableness level that I required.
My secret weapon.
So, Luke, do you want to maybe tell them about the process of recording Erika for this?
Okay, so coincidentally, earlier at the beginning of the podcast, Devo was telling us about lag issues he was having with, there being like, whatever number of microseconds delay in, when you're trying to record stuff, from you saying it into the mic and it getting it to your ear. And I was trying for years to solve that problem in the PC stuff I was using, and as I was hunting and trying to solve that problem to get rid of that lag, I discovered that in Adobe Audition they have like, it's a setting that you can make, how much lag do you want. And I'm just thinking, first of all, why would anyone want any lag at all? That makes no sense to me. And then I saw in the stick, it's like you can do 500 microseconds, 300 microseconds, and then like the lowest one is 30, which still isn't good enough. And but there's no setting for 0. It's like, why isn't there a setting for 0? So it just made me frustrated because I basically would have to record my songs and, do my best, and then later on I might have to like slide them over a slight bit in, each of the waveforms of my vocals just to make sure I'm perfectly on sync with the way I want things to sound. And I just kind of power through it for most of the songs I do. So I was trying to record that stuff using this setup with Erika, and Erika, who rightfully so is not willing to put up with that kind of crap. It's like, I can't sing like this. It's too weird. It's throwing me off.
It wasn't that I wasn't willing to put up with it. That makes me sound like a diva. It was more that I was having difficulty doing a good job, and so I very politely requested that we fix it so that I could do a better job for Kyle.
Her demands.
I was not trying to paint you as a diva. I was just more saying, like, I'm so used to doing everything DIY, no budget, whatever, that like I just have to put up with whatever I have.
He was not trying to paint you as a diva. He was trying to paint you like one of his French girls.
Yes.
So, hang on a sec, really quick. Kyle, did you say the title of the episode and I missed it?
Yes.
Damn it. Let's do that again. Here.
So anyway, we did one attempt at recording stuff, and we didn't get too far, and Erika was also kind of not happy with what she had recorded anyway. So we decided just to, stop recording and have Erika come back on another day to record those vocals. So I then set up my MacBook with my Yeti microphone because on GarageBand there is no lag. So I set things up over there in the kitchen, and then I got everything all set up and managed to get it. An asterisk. I'll get back to that later. But once we confirmed it was working, Erika came in and I helped her record all the vocals for the big final takes, and it was wonderful and boisterous, and she would do her cute little dance moves that are adorable, that go perfectly with the song. So.
And you were a huge help, and I have to say thank you so much for setting all of that up, because I don't think I would have been able to do it without you. And we have lovely vocal evidence of your help in terms of the Mary Berry Luke ski muffins.
Yeah, so when I went to test the microphone, because I had listened to the song repeatedly during the first session we tried to record, and I already had the melody in my head, so I just hit record because I wanted to record a WAV file and send it to Kyle so I can basically ask Kyle, is the room sound good? Is this an okay setup? Because I don't want to spend a whole session recording stuff and then find out afterwards like, oh, none of it is usable or isn't as high quality as it could have been. So as a test, I just hit record on an open track, and I just started singing, "This is me testing the microphone," blah blah blah, and I just started improvising, and I wanted to give a long enough sample to make sure that I would that it was well, and I just accidentally ended up singing the entire length of the song, this improvised thing. And then I sent it to Kyle, and then Kyle's response was like, number one, yes, that works great, and number two, this is a bonus track at the end of the album now.
And it is.
It is.
In fact,
I heard it.
For those who weren't there / didn't look at the video of it, when we did our MarsCon Guest of Honor set, we did the entire album. That includes this song, and that also includes Luke's bonus track. Which means that Luke had to transcribe everything that he ad-libbed. I was very happy to have not only helped bring this excellent Mary Berry Muffin song into existence, but also to shoehorn myself into another thing so that I can get more attention, because I am an attention whore. And for some reason, I like giving it to him. I don't know.
He loves the spotlight, and the spotlight loves him.
And you know what else I love? I love Erika Haynes, the best roommate ever.
You love Erika Haynes.
Yay! That's me.
So, Kat, do you have anything else to say about the Mary Berry Muffinses?
I like harpsichords.
I was going to say, Erika, do you have an embarrassing story about living with me that you could tell? Like, in particular, how much of a pain in the butt it is to live with me?
I have one that's not really an embarrassing story. It's just a silly story. There's the story of when you took that video of me doing my little dance through the apartment because you had left your groceries on the stove. So for a little context, at some point, Luke got a bunch of groceries and was having a very busy day, and so he didn't have time to put away all of his groceries. And somehow they had all just ended up on top of the stove. And so I came over to cook my dinner, and I look over and see him at his desk. And so I just decided to do a little dance with a little crab walk where I'm just waving my hands going, "Why'd you leave your groceries on the stove? Why'd you leave your groceries on the stove?" And then Luke thought that was the most adorable thing. Yeah, and so Luke thought it was the most adorable thing, so he videotaped it and sent it. And yeah, so he sent it to Kyle, Lindsay, and everybody, and that's a nice little story.
Yeah.
By the way, when you sent it to me, it kind of looked like it was shot on a potato. Is it any better on your phone?
I think it's just because it downgraded the quality of video. The original video is in full quality, but it's also kind of weirdly lit. We posted publicly, but Erika is fully clothed in it, but it's kind of nighttime pajama wear clothes that you probably wouldn't want to have videos of her posted in public because she's not all done up, etc. But anyway,
Ooh, my secrets.
but the song and the dance were wonderful, and I just I would absolutely support in every way making that into a full song.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we need to do.
I'm down for it.
All right, coming to the FuMP soon.
Why'd you leave
Sounds
your
a little bit like
groceries
Roller Coaster
on the
Club.
stove?
Yeah. Erica, do you have anything to plug?
I don't. I'm actually really enjoying taking some time away from just, doing the hustle and bustle of life. The everything that happened, in the last couple of years gave me a nice sense of clarity of like, oh, I need to take a step back and focus on me for a bit. So that's what I'm plugging. Me, myself, and I.
Hey, I'm going to step through here while you plug things for a moment, Kyle. And now Kyle plugs things that he may have.
I'd also like to plug my feelings. No, you can get all of my musics at tvskyle.bandcamp.com. Oh God, he's coming here with a cat. Good Lord. No, okay. Please.
Just because Erica was having dreams about Hubert lately, I want
I
Erica
was.
to see Hubert.
Hubert time, everybody.
It's my boy.
It's a boy. So cute.
He's such a good boy.
He's so orange.
Yeah.
He is the most
You can
orange.
get my music at tvskyle.bandcamp.com. I made a show called Mighty Magisaurus for some reason, and should you want to watch that, I don't know, you could watch it on Hulu or HBO Max if you'd like. You can follow me on Twitter at tvskyle, but without an apostrophe, because Twitter hates apostrophes.
Most services hate apostrophes. I hate curly apostrophes and curly quotes. And if anyone knows a way to remove them from websites and databases entirely, get in touch. All right. Let's move on. Yeah.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
It's feedback. I'm in the ancient lunchroom.
When's that track coming out?
Erika, I used to do this on every episode.
Oh.
Even
Love
when
it.
there's no feedback, like today.
No comment alert.
No comments. So we can do this.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a joke.
Tomorrow's song is by Captain Ambivalent. And Tuesday's song is by Two Sleeps. And this next week's Spotify playlist topic is streaming, because we got the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, we got Stranger Things 4, we got, all the things on the streaming
There's
platforms.
a new South Park, like 1 hour type episode on Paramount Plus called The Streaming Wars.
Yes, I'm excited about that. I've actually made a spreadsheet of all the stuff I want to watch. And because I keep forgetting and I keep losing track of things, and as I keep remembering things, I'm like, oh, I got to add that to the spreadsheet. So I'm going to add the South Park to the spreadsheet. All right. Dead by 28. Plug yourself one more time.
Well, you can find us on Bandcamp, Facebook, YouTube, pretty much anywhere on the internet. Just Dead by 28's there. We're on the cooking channel. You can find us everywhere.
I'd love to see you guys with a cooking show. I have a feeling that would be wonderful.
I would love that too. That would be interesting.
Kyle, plug yourself one more time.
I just did it.
I
Go
know.
to my OnlyFans. It's just a Rick Astley. Don't worry about it.
Erica, you want to plug yourself one more time?
Yeah. Again, my name is Erika Haynes. If you want to come follow shenanigans, I am on Twitter at how do you say at reality on mute on Twitter, and and I'm just kind of floating in an adjacent bubble around Kyle and Luke at any and all times. So if you want to find me, that's usually where I'm about.
I don't know why you're like telling everyone our favorite TV show, but yes, we like The View.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and he's Kyle.
I'm not Luke Ski.
And there's Dead by 28.
Look at them, they're dressed in man.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Erika in life is the main character, and at best I'm a featured extra.
I'm a spin-off.